Welcome to BRR Media. Today I'm joined by Pryde, the co-founder and COO of OneThree Biotech. Brad, it's great to have you with us.
Good to be here, Resi. Thank you very much.
So Brad, tell us, what are the benefits of using AI tools in drug discovery compared with traditional methods?
Yeah, so I think there's a multitude of different benefits, but just from a high level to summarize, it is going to ultimately, first of all, save time. It accelerates the drug discovery process. It's also going to help you draw insights which wouldn't be available in other methodologies. So you may have a single scientist that's working on, that may be within their career working on a single pathway, and be able to draw very clear insights while focusing on a specific pathway. What AI helps you do is eliminate the bias and then actually explore a multitude of different areas within biology. That's in the case of OneThree, where we focus on understanding the underlying biology of drug discovery. So new insights and a more speed to the clinic and success within the clinic.
And Brad, how can AI be used to accelerate drug development?
Yeah, so I think it's no unfamiliar fact with most people operating the space that the failure of drug discovery or bringing a drug from conception to market is 96% or well over 96%. I think a vast amount of these failures happen for different reasons, but a lot of them happen for biological reasons. So making false predictions on whether or not this would be efficacious or toxic within humans. Other ones are, chemical reasons. So assigning the wrong chemical entity to a specific target. But AI has started to grow into drug discovery in the earlier stages, and where it has been able to lend its hand is to having accuracy. Naturally, where you have accuracy, that helps accelerate the process in that you have a reduced amount of failures. So you aren't going back to the drawing board more regularly. So you may be seeing success in vitro in the wet lab because you've done such great dry lab predictions. And then also with OneThree, what we pride ourselves in doing is the ability for us to predict, make predictions which are more, have a higher degree of translatability into the clinic. So if we make a prediction, we see that validated in vitro, in vivo, but when it hits the clinic, because of we covered so many different bases, we see success there. So that failure rate is decreased. There's less coming back to the earlier stages to retest hypothesis, and therefore it's a more accelerated process. And beyond that, it's also seeing a lot of AI, which gives the ability to repurpose certain drugs, so drugs that already exist within the clinic, which allows you to skip this phase 1 test where we're identifying whether or not that drug is toxic within human beings. That's another element that will help quite a strong acceleration of drug discovery process.
So tell us, why is the deal with Poolbeg Pharma unique?
Yeah, I think it's unique in two ways. First and foremost, to our knowledge, challenge study data has never been analyzed by an AI-driven platform as it has in this partnership. And additionally, the combination of OneThree's discovery engine and Poolbeg's development expertise is creating an end-to-end approach to get new therapeutics to patients. And also, it's just very unique in just the AI drug discovery industry. Different people have been entering the market, applying AI to drug discovery. But when you see deals like this come through, where it's a true partnership, where an AI company and then a pharmaceutical company are actually participating in an agreement that has downstream components, it shows the value that is beginning to be placed on pure dry lab predictions. So within this partnership, we're both working together using Poolbeg's data, OneThree's data, and our AI platform to make a prediction that will come out as a research and development report, which will then subsequently be taken into the wet lab earlier stages, but then ultimately into the clinical trials. And we will be participating in the benefit of those downstream successes. So it shows that AI companies like ourselves are being considered true partners in the drug discovery field.
And what do you expect to learn from it?
What we're hoping to learn is for a way to assign a small molecule to a new patient subgroup, hitting a specific signature and target, and then put that and bring it into early stage wet lab experiments. Now, the analysis of OneThree will be around as new data becomes available to rerun the analysis, but at first testable R&D package will come out at that point in time. And that's what we hope to learn. We hope to find a new way using small molecules to target RSV.
So Brad, talk to us a bit about the AI industry at the moment. What do you think the impact of AI in the infectious disease space will be?
No, happy to. So I think the way in which AI is making its way into drug discovery, so biotech and pharmaceuticals, is a growing beast, but is undeniably starting to show prevalence. So when we started building out our technology of Weill Cornell, which is the largest precision medicine unit in the United States, in 2011, there's a lot of AI players starting to come out. And at that stage, it was almost taboo. A lot of people didn't understand it, didn't believe it. And now almost every major pharmaceutical company is very greatly involved in the application of AI to their drug discovery practices. There was an amazing article that was released on Forbes in 2019, which showed the number of outsourced AI partnerships from the top 30 pharmaceutical companies. And to the extent that they were bringing in large part at that point in time, they were doing external partnerships. And now it's become prevalent that even GSK has a senior vice president of machine learning and AI. So I think it's no longer this new thing that people don't know is doing. Everybody is adopting it into their practices. And I think as we go down into the earlier stage biotech companies, we're starting to see even some of those participants playing that. And we're even starting to see some AI biotechs. And by AI biotech, I mean a company that is using AI like OneThree Bio as a core piece of their development strategy. We're starting to see that grow a lot within the industry. So how will this become relevant for the infectious disease area? I think in the same way it's coming across all of drug discovery, it's going to target this. And the partnership between Poolbeg and OneThree Biotech is clear evidence of that. And we're really excited to see the direct benefit of AI entering into the infectious disease space and new cures for these diseases that will tackle them and treat the patients that need them the most.
And finally, what are the challenges associated with using AI in drug discovery?
Yeah, so I think there's, with anything that's a new piece of technology entering an industry, there's a multitude of different challenges, or you could say opportunities as well. So I think one thing that may limit the power of AI is the data, right? And we've been able to, at OneThree Biotech, source data from over 200 different sources, so both public and private, an example of private data being the data that we're able to access with Poolbeg. But there are limiting factors, and then also quality factors with different data sets. So when pulling from all these different sources, we've established partnerships where people believe the value of their data is incredible, but it actually has been gathered in the wrong way. And then we have to go through the process of filtering and quality control. And then we realize that maybe it wasn't as valuable as we originally thought. So I think there will be data constraints on the power of AI, and it takes a necessary partner to be able to tell you whether or not that data is good data. It's incredibly important. Also, limiting the factors, I think, is going to be and what I have seen a drastic change just in the past 2 years is the attitudes of specific scientists who are quite reputable within the industry, having a degree of skepticism between AI. And I think that is the nature of science, and it's rightfully so in that way. But it is a relatively foreign concept and a very complex piece of technology or series of technologies that may leave people scratching their heads or not really having the background to have an opinion on it. And we do come across those hurdles a lot, is if you are going to invest in a partnership where there's a lot of downstream components and a long-term partnership, you want to make sure you're very clear on it. There's very few or little expertise within the field for this particular series of technologies. So I think that limited education within the field will start to become overcome. And as I mentioned previously, AI, machine learning is growing. A lot of people are gaining familiarity with it. But I do think that's going to be an evolving process that may, in a way, slow down the adoption of utilizing machine learning and artificial intelligence in the industry.
Brad, thank you very much. It's been great to speak to you today, and look forward to hopefully catching up again soon and hearing more about it.
Yeah, likewise, it was a pleasure, Rosie.